Hi there, my name is Megan Smith. I am the Program and Arts Coordinator for Youth Challenge, a sports and recreation center for young people with physical disabilities in Westlake, Ohio, and a proud member of ADA Cleveland. A huge part of ADA Cleveland is advocacy and advocating for disability rights. So what better way to do that than with a little chalk art sign? So to celebrate 30 years of the Americans with Disabilities Act, we are going to chalk the walk to call for access. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks on how to make your chalk art look the best that it can and give you a few starting points to inspire you to make your own chalk art. To chalk the walk with me today, all you really need is the chalk provided in your ADA advocacy kits. If you cannot reach the sidewalk or the driveway, you can use a big piece of cardboard and lay it right on your lap, and that'll work just as well. I'm also going to be using some water and a paintbrush for a chalk technique later on in this video. I'm going to take you through a guided drawing of some block letters. We are going to spell out A-D-A, and this will give you a jumping off point to hopefully inspire you to create your own masterpieces on the sidewalk.
To start, we need to sweep off the sidewalk and make sure we have a clean surface to work on. And then you're going to start your block letters by drawing capital letters A-D-A, leaving a good amount of space in between each letter. Now that we have our capital letters, we are going to turn them into block letters. You can do this by tracing around the lines you just drew, about an inch or two away from those lines. And don't forget to do the inside middle parts of the A's and the D too. All right, now the magic happens. We're turning our block letters into 3D letters. They're gonna look like they're popping right off the sidewalk. I like to start by marking each corner of my block letters by placing a dot where the two lines meet. This will come in handy when I start to draw my 3D lines. Now that I have my dots as my reminders, I'm going to go back to each dot and draw a slanted diagonal line about an inch out from my letters, all going the same direction. Now some dots that you've placed aren't going to need lines because if you drew a line, it'd be going into the middle of your block letter. So only draw your slanted diagonal lines coming out of your block letter A's or D's. The last step to create our 3D effect comes when we connect our diagonal lines that we just created back together. Pick a diagonal line, find the end of it, and then draw parallel to your block letter. When we connect our lines, this is going to create that 3D effect, making our letters pop right off the sidewalk. Now the letter D can be a bit tricky on the curved part of our letter. We're going to try and draw from the tip of our slanted line and reach just to the middle of our D to connect back. All right, now for the really fun part, the coloring in. I like to choose two different colors, one for the block letter that's facing the front, and then a different color for the sides of our block letter. This is going to create a shadow effect and also give our block letters some dimension. At this point, don't worry about being super neat. You can kind of scribble your color in on your block letters and that'll turn out just fine. Our next step will be adding the water with our paintbrush, and this is going to help fill in some of those gaps left by the texture of the sidewalk. Our last step is going to take our art to the next level. We're going to add a little water with a paintbrush on top of our chalk, just painting like you would on a piece of paper. And this is going to smooth that texture right out. We're going to fill in all those gaps that are left by the rough texture from our sidewalk or our driveway. If you've modified this project and are using a piece of cardboard on your lap, I recommend not using any water. You can go ahead and use a dry paintbrush, or your finger works just as well to smooth out that texture. So if you're ready to get out there, use your voice, spread the word through the power of art, and chalk that walk, we would love to see what you came up with. Remember to add the hashtag call for access to any of your social media posts, or email your pictures to adaincle@gmail.com. Thank you so much for joining ADA Cleveland, Youth Challenge, and myself in celebrating 30 days for 30 years of the ADA. Stay safe, stay hydrated, but don't drink your chalky paint water.